Hello everyone, hope you are doing well and by now you have watched the previous two videos on rhetoric or figures of speech. This is part 3 of rhetoric or figures of speech. In this video, I am going to discuss figures based on contrast or difference. There are 5 such figures of speech which are important for your examination: antithesis, epigram, oxymoron, climax, and anticlimax. Let's start with antithesis. So, in antithesis, contrasted words or ideas are placed together in a balanced form for the sake of emphasis. Means there will be opposite words or ideas. Okay, contrasted words means opposite words or ideas will be there. They will be placed side by side in a balanced form to emphasize on a particular point. Okay, so for the sake of emphasis, this figure of speech is used. Examples are: united we stand, divided we fall. So here note that these two phrases are opposite to each other. United we stand and divided we fall. So these are opposite to each other. They are placed side by side and they emphasize on the unity of importance, right? Next example, this is taken from Ulysses, the poem Ulysses. Though much is taken, much abides. So those who have read the poem, you can understand that here the poet is talking about physical strength. So though much of that physical strength is taken away, much abides. Still, much is left. So the old contemplate, the young act. So old contemplate. This is one phrase which is opposite to young act. Okay. So the old people uh, keep on thinking or contemplating, planning, and the young people act. Again, opposite things, and they are placed side by side in a balanced form for the sake of emphasis. On emphasis on what? Here, the writer is emphasizing on the importance of action. Okay, so as young people, you need to execute your plans. Give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. So you should listen to everyone's advice, but few thy voice means whatever decision you will take, that should be completely your decision. Okay, so you can listen to everyone, but you should not speak the words of others, right? So that's why this is said. So again, the two phrases are opposite to each other, and this is again done for the sake of emphasis. Take each man censor, but reserve thy judgment. This is also conveying same kind of meaning. And the last one, man proposes, but God disposes. So in this proposition, you can see that there are two ideas: man proposes, and the other one is God disposes. They are placed together side by side. They are contrasted or opposite ideas. They are also placed in a balanced form. This antithetical arrangement seems to emphasize the difference between the power of God and that of man. Okay? So, this is antithesis. Next figure of speech in this series is epigram. In epigram, there is a shocking contradiction in apparent meaning of an expression or statement, but there is an underlying significance. Okay? Uh, so, in epigram, basically, you will find that there is a brief and terse statement. There is a contradiction in the apparent meaning of the statement. There is a shocking sensation and there is an inner meaning. So all these conditions uh, should be fulfilled in epigram. Okay. So the first example is our antagonist is our helper. So there is a kind of shock in the statement that how can our antagonist become our helper, right? So uh, here, like what the writer wants to say is that he wants to point out the truth, okay, the inner truth regarding the role of the antagonist in the matter of arming a man against danger. Means our antagonist opponent, they are actually mm, playing the role of a person who uh, teaches us the best lesson, okay, who makes us aware of uh, our surroundings and who gives us a sort of warning against danger, okay. So, in that sense, our antagonist is our helper. That person is not directly helping us, but his actions equip us with the ability to execute our works in a better way. Next example, failures are the pillars of success. Again, there is a shocking contradiction because how can failures be the pillars of success? But we all know that failures teach us a lot of things, and if we learn from those failures, then we will achieve success in life, okay, easily. So he is all fault who hath not fault at all. That means human beings, it is certain that human beings are going to have some kind of faults. So it is not possible that someone doesn't have any fault. If someone believes that or thinks that he doesn't have any fault, then that means he is full of faults. Okay, because as human beings, we should be able to recognize that these are recognize and identify our faults. Okay? There is a pleasure in poetic pains. So, see, in this sentence also, you will find a shocking contradiction, right? So, because how can somebody find pleasure in pain? But in case of poetic pain or pains depicted in literature, while deciphering that meaning, we experience a kind of pleasure. The child is the father of man. Here also you will find a shocking contradiction. And what is the inner meaning here? The inner meaning suggests that the child of today will be the creator of the future man. So this is called epigram. Before moving on to the next figure of speech, here I would like to tell you that in your examination you need to identify and explain both. So, how will you write a good answer for these figures of speech or rhetoric? Suppose this sentence is given, the child is the father of man. So, the first line that you will write that this is an epigram, and then if you can write the definition of epigram, that will be very good. Okay, like in an epigram there is a shocking contradiction in the apparent meaning of the language used, but there is an inner significance. Then here the language contradicts itself, for how a child can be the father of a man. There is an inner meaning in the contradiction. The inner meaning suggests that the child of today will be the creator of the future man. Okay, so this is a kind of complete answer, and this you have to write. Next figure of speech is oxymoron. In oxymoron, two contradictory words are juxtaposed for a striking effect. Okay? So let's look at the examples. He leads a life of active idleness. See, active and idle. These two are active and idleness. These two are contradictory words, but they are placed side by side. So there is a contradiction in the apparent meaning, and this contradiction is caused by placing these two words side by side, active and idleness. The sentence here becomes an instance of oxymoron, right? So, another phrase with which many of you are familiar is carefully careless. She is carefully careless. So, careful and careless, these two are opposite words or contradictory words. They are placed side by side for a striking effect. Then, you must hasten slowly. Okay, so you must do the work fast, slowly. So, two concepts are contradictory. This is also oxymoron. So, try to understand the difference between these three figures of speech. Okay, antithesis, epigram, oxymoron. All three are talking about placing opposite ideas, words side by side. Okay, I will come to a comparative analysis of these three. Okay, now the next example is life is bittersweet. Bittersweet, opposite words, and they are placed side by side. This is oxymoron. And all its aching joys are now no more. Again, aching is painful, joys. Aching and joys, these two are opposite words, they are placed together. This is also oxymoron. So, now uh, understand the difference between these three figures of speech. So, in antithesis, what is happening? There are two contrasted words or ideas in antithesis. In epigram, there is a contradiction in the apparent meaning of a statement. In antithesis, you didn't find any contradiction in the apparent meaning. Okay, like united we stand, divided we fall. Two opposite words are simply placed, opposite ideas are simply placed side by side. Okay, in epigram, you find a shocking contradiction in the apparent meaning, like failures are the pillars of success, right? In oxymoron, you find two contrasted words are present only, not ideas, phrases like this. Only two opposite words are placed side by side. Okay? Mm, Another difference, like in case of antithesis, the contrasted words or ideas are set against each other in a balanced form. But in epigram, the statement is very brief and terse and it causes a shock. Right? In case of oxymoron, these words are juxtaposed or placed side by side simply. Okay? Acha. And the purpose of each one of these figures of speech is also different. So the purpose in case of antithesis, the purpose is to emphasize the idea or thought contained, right? In case of epigram, the purpose is to rouse some inner thought or significance. See, in epigram, we always find a kind of inner meaning because the apparent meaning conveys a kind of contradiction, but the inner meaning conveys the significance, or there is a significance or inner meaning in the line. In oxymoron, the purpose is to have greater emphasis or impressiveness. Okay? So, like when we say that she's carefully careless. So we want to emphasize on this idea that how somebody uh, can keep herself carefully careless, means in order to appear careless she has devoted a lot of time, uh, she has um, given a lot of care in order to make herself appear careless. Next figure of speech is climax. In climax, words or ideas are arranged in an ascending order of importance. The word climax comes from Greek climax, meaning a ladder. Okay. So let's acha, first let us divide it into 2-3 points. Okay, so in climax you will find a series of words or ideas is presented. First condition, okay, series of words or ideas is presented. Second, the least impressive word or idea comes first. Second condition, okay. Third condition, the most impressive word or idea comes last. And last one is, there is a regular gradation from the least to the most impressive word or idea. Okay. Now let us look at the examples. I came, I saw, and I conquered. So here you can see that three ideas, I came, I saw, and I conquered, are arranged together. The idea I came that comes first is the least impressive. Okay, means in terms of importance, this is the least significant event, right? I came. Then mm, the last one, the last idea, I conquered, is the most impressive and most significant event of these three. Okay? And I saw, this idea stands between the least significant and the most significant ideas. Okay, so when you will see this kind of gradation, like successive steps to something, then that is climax. I came, I saw, I conquered. Next example, a thief, a plunderer, an assassin. Again, in terms of importance or gradation, you will see that there is a rise or you will see successive steps. Like a thief is not that much big figure, right? A thief, then a plunderer, and an assassin. So an assassin is the is someone who is to be most afraid of, right? So to next example, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Here also you will see these like successive steps: to strive, to seek, to find, and the last one is not to yield. So these ideas are also arranged in an ascending order of importance for impressiveness. So while writing answers to this kind of figures of speech, you will write that this is, take this example, this sentence. So this is the climax. The climax consists in the arrangement of a series of words or ideas in an ascending order of importance. There are four ideas: to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield in the expression or in the sentence. These ideas are arranged in an ascending order of importance for impressiveness. Okay, and then the last example, we will hear him, we will follow him, we will die with him. You can see the ascending order of importance in the sentence. Okay, let's move on to the last figure of speech in this particular category, anticlimax or bathos. In anticlimax, there is a sudden fall from the lofty to the mean thought in order to excite laughter or ridicule. Okay? So, anticlimax is also known as bathos. Bathos means depth. Okay, Greek in Greek word in Greek language it means depth. So anticlimax, like in anticlimax, you will see the following things. Number one, a series of words or ideas is presented. Second, the most impressive word or idea comes first. So anticlimax, the name itself reveals that it is just the opposite of climax. So in case of anticlimax, the most impressive idea or word will come first. Then the least impressive word or idea will come last. And there is a sudden fall from the most impressive word or idea to the least. The purpose is to excite ridicule, contempt, or laughter. Example, he lost his wife, his child, his goods, and his dogs at one full sweep. Here, see, the most impressive or most significant idea is his wife, right? He lost his wife. Then there is a fall from this to his goods and dogs, right? So this is called anticlimax or bathos. Next example, this is taken from the Rape of the Lock. Not louder shrieks to beating heaven are cast when husbands or when lapdogs breathe their last. So in the second line of these two lines, you will see that there is a sudden fall from husband to lapdogs. So this is again bathos or anticlimax. Next example, she lost her husband, her children, and her handkerchief. So from husband to handkerchief, there is a sudden fall. Next example, pups, powder, patches, Bibles, Biledu. This is again taken from the Rape of the Lock. For those who haven't read this poem, Biledu means love letters. Okay, so from Bible is indeed a lofty idea, a lofty concept. So from Bible, there is a sudden fall to Biledu. So in case of such questions, you will write in this way that this is an anticlimax. In an anticlimax, there is a sudden fall from the lofty to the mean thought with a view to excite ridicule or laughter. Here, there is a sudden fall from Bible to Biledu, and it is done to excite laughter. Okay, that is all you have to write. Okay, so I hope these 5 figures of speech are now quite clear to you all. If you find this video useful, then please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Keep watching and keep learning. Thank you all.